everyone, it's a Friday. Whoop whoop. So I hope you had a nice week, and of course you're looking forward to the weekend. I have my cocktail ready because this week's episode we are visiting Cuba. I have a good friend of mine, Stephanie, who loves to travel. She's going to be sharing pictures and tips on visiting Cuba. I hope you enjoy watching this episode as much as I did interviewing her. Catch you on the other side. God bless. Hi, Steph.
It's so how's it going?
Good. It's a Friday.
A Friday.
So, on Cocktails and Suitcases, the tradition is we are sharing drinks. So, what drink do you have?
Today I have a homemade with love berry and mango peach bomb. We'll call it a peach bomb. Mango berry peach bomb. I just made that up on the spot.
Oh, nice. I'm having a raspberry strawberry cocktail. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I know you have some good tips and pictures to share with us today.
Yes, well, I guess we'll be talking about my trips to Cuba. I've been there a couple of times. The first time I went as a solo traveler, and the second time I went with friends. So I do have the pictures I could share with you from when I was with my friends. I don't have my friends in the photos, but the photos are taken from the second trip with my friends. So I could just show you some of those and some of the things we got up to, and just to talk about the two different trips that I had, what I went up to, and the differences, I suppose.
Awesome. I can't wait. So first of all, before we dig in, I would like to say thank you for taking the time to actually walk us through visiting Cuba.
No problems. It's my pleasure. Traveling is my forte. It is like my passion. I love it.
Yes, and I know with COVID-19 right now, it's cranking up your style. You should have been in some island right now.
Right? I could have been discovering a new island out there. There's so much world to see, but as it is, we just have to go back and look at our pictures from previous travels and just enjoy life that way for now.
Okay, awesome. So, a toast to Cuba, and you can start telling us about Cuba. How, let's say, if you're planning and when you're in Cuba, and just every detail. We want to hear everything.
All right. Well, I guess I should share my screen.
Okay.
And my apologies if I seem a little bit out of sorts going through these pictures. And so we can see you. And here we go. So that's my dad in the background, by the way. So this is some of the things we went up to when we were in Cuba. So on both trips, I did do snorkeling trips.
Okay.
This one was part of a Jeep safari tour that we did. It was a day that was fully loaded, but we did some snorkeling, as you can see. That's with a whole bunch of other guests that were there. This was when we were flying into Cuba. You could see our hotel is right here, this middle hotel here, and so it was kind of to see that as you're flying in, and you can see how blue the waters are too, right?
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yeah, so every night they used to have daily shows, and they had different themes on every night. Sometimes it'll be a Michael Jackson theme. This one I think was Tropicana, and so the entertainment team really entertains you at night, and it's great. This was actually on our first day there. There was a red flag day, and so that the waves are just so strong. The wind is so strong, and the waves are high. So it's like if you're going into the ocean, you really don't want to be doing that. But some people still do, right? Just to maybe walk in it. But swimming is not advisable when you see a red flag outside of your hotel. This is some of the food we enjoyed. This was at the Japanese restaurant. So they really make it fun. They make it super interactive. They make a hot food. This is a hot made with egg whites, as they're preparing the food. So it's really awesome. And then this is the beaches in Cuba. The water is just great. This is out in
How
Matan.
long were you in Cuba?
Sorry.
How long were you in Cuba?
So this is a 7-day all-inclusive. So
Okay.
both times I did 7-day all-inclusive trips.
Okay.
So this is just seeing some of the colorfulness and the fun cars that they have there. And this was part of the Jeep Safari tour. These were the cars we were driving. They were like manual stick shift cars, and so we were driving ourselves to all the different. Like this was one of the locations we went to. It was
I love that.
yeah, it's awesome, right? It was a plantation. They served us a local meal, and we just got to walk around and chill and hang out. It was great. And then this is back at our hotel. So during the lunch hours, they used to do all sorts. It could be barbecues, or in this case, they were making paella. And then
Okay.
some of the ingredients they put in there, they've got the seafood, they've got the veggies, the rice, and they get the guests to come and help out and make it. So it's you can really have a fun, interactive time. This was one of our trips going to see dolphins, and then with an island escape afterwards. So you get on these boats are called catamarans. I think they're the best thing ever. When you go to Cuba, I think of all the trips I've done, a catamaran in Cuba is by far the best, the best.
Okay.
This
Taking my notes.
was the Iberostar in Cuba that I stayed at. I actually stayed both times at an Iberostar. This one was Iberostar Bella Vista, and the first one I stayed with was Taino's. They're about, I would say, like a 3.5 star hotel rating. Nothing too crazy. And then this was a cave that we swam in when we were on the Jeep Safari tour. So that's just to show you like a few of the photos, of the things that we did when we were there.
Wow.
But now, maybe just to talk a bit more about, what it was like in Cuba, the things, that you can do, what to look forward to. The weather is great, obviously.
Okay.
Everyone is looking so when I've traveled, it's always been December, which ironically is their winter. And winter for them is like 25, 26, 27. That's winter for them. Whereas for us coming from Canada and the cold, escaping, that December snow, it's like so good, right? Having 29, 28, 27, I'll take it any day over -20.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think maybe one of the things that wasn't the greatest about Cuba was their food. Yeah, we saw some decent food from the photos there, but that was like one of the few, instances where we had really good food. I think compared to other places, Cuba needs a big improvement when it comes to food. But then again, it is a third world country and they don't really get many resources coming in. So we can't really fault them for that, right? So they do the best with what they're able to provide to tourists.
Oh, nice. And how, like with expenses, if I am, let's say, creating my budget, is it expensive to take all the swimming with dolphins and the food?
So anywhere you go, activities will be expensive, whether you're going to Jamaica, to Mexico, Dominican Republic. It's just the same as with Cuba. So on my very first time going there as a solo traveler, I decided to book some private tours, just so that I could get the maximum amount of time, getting to see Cuba and going to Matanzas, a city close to Varadero, and going to Havana as well, and just to get that personalized experience. So I was willing to spend the money to do something like that, right? So you do have to kind of invest.
Okay.
Where you can save on your money is coming from like Winnipeg, for example, they have those all-inclusive vacations, right? So hotel, your flight, your food and drinks at the hotel are all accounted for, including the transfers to and from the hotel. So you could get those, as cheap as $1,100, 1,100 Canadian dollars. But when I went as a solo traveler, I had to spend extra money, which was I think it was about $1,400 approximately.
Right?
Then each of the tours that I did were around 130 US dollars. And you'll see that like on, I think on TripAdvisor or something, those amounts are kind of advertised there. So it's kind of a toss up between like, do you take the bus where it stops at every single hotel to pick up other guests to go to the activities that you want to go to? And, maybe those ones, it's like maybe 70 US for the same tour, so it's almost half, right? So it just depends what kind of experience you're looking for. But for example, if you're doing the catamaran with the dolphins, it's not far to get there, so you wouldn't want to book for a private tour to get to that place. It's cheaper just to get on the bus and go to a few hotels to pick up other guests to go to that activity. But for something like Varadero, to go to Havana, it's a long drive. It's a long drive from Varadero to get to Havana. So maybe you
Okay.
want comfort, right? And your own space and, just to relax. And, I would suggest a private tour for that one, for example.
Because, so for example, if I'm planning to go with Lara and my husband,
Yeah,
like, is there a hotel that's kids friendly where she'll have fun and
definitely. So
um,
most hotels are family friendly. There are very few that are not. So for families, there's a whole option of hotels you could choose from. Whereas for people who don't want to have children at their resorts, they would have a harder time picking hotels because they're not as many that cater to just either singles or couples, or no kids, sort of a thing. So you wouldn't have
ah,
you wouldn't have a problem.
okay. No, is there anything else you want to tell us before we say bye?
I think islands are wonderful. If anyone gets a chance to visit, I would say take it and go. And there's so many out there that you can visit, right? And some people go for the culture, some people go for the nightlife, some people go for the day activities. It all depends, right? And all the islands can provide a taste of each and every one of those things. So I'd say
Okay.
pack suitcases, grab a cocktail on the plane, land, grab another cocktail as they welcome you at the hotel, and enjoy yourself.
Okay, then I guess I'm ready to visit Cuba. And I do know that you love to travel, so I hope you can make it again on the show to tell us about Mexico, Dominican Republic, and
Almost
there are other places
definitely.
that you've visited. So I hope you come back because we've had so much fun with you, Steph.
Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to seeing all the other episodes too.
Yeah, okay. So have a nice day. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday!
Cheers. Bye.